Oh, that's right. Okay, so that takes care of that that one event. So 2005, Quebec City.
Quebec City. Ended up winning both arms there.
Okay.
Bit softer class though.
Was it okay?
To be completely honest, yeah, it was. Training partner of mine, Scott Stillwell, ended up placing runner-up with the left hand.
Okay.
And I think Mark Zaleppo, was the runner-up right-handed.
He finished second to you right-handed. Yeah. Okay, so in 2005, Tokyo?
We went on to Tokyo. I ended up going all the way through to the ace side. I was winner of the ace side in the left arm.
Okay.
And August Smeasel comes and he beat me twice.
He beat you twice in the final?
In the final.
Okay.
That was a tough one to take, but that's the way it goes,
Yeah,
I mean, he was stronger that day, A little different because, it's the first year they introduced drug testing, and, sometimes I'd take a bunch of caffeine or ephedrine, to be completely honest, just to get myself up for the final match, and I made sure I stayed away from absolutely everything that could even make a blip on the radar, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, I was walking down that little aisle there, and I tried to look like I was into it, but I wasn't, I was pretty tired, but no excuses.
No.
Because he gave me hell in our first match. I mean, I actually, he stopped my hit, and I did a flop wrist thing and pinned him.
Okay.
So I did it fast.
Yeah.
And he thought it was a bad call or something, and away it went. But he came back and he won the left arm. And the right arm, I actually had a pretty decent day. I beat Tim Bresnan at some point during that tournament, and I don't know how he got knocked out of the tournament eventually, but I knocked him out of the B-side. And August and I met in the final, only I was on the B-side this time.
Okay.
And he just I didn't have anything for him.
Nothing for him right-handed?
Nothing for him right-handed.
No? Okay. So that's 2005. We move on to 2006. I think we're back up to Kelowna.
2006, yeah, one of my favorite nationals ever.
It was. Okay. You tell. I remember who was there. It
was a strong class.
Yeah.
Earl Wilson, finally. I get a chance to pull him out of nationals in, first time in 8 years, I believe.
Was it? Okay.
I had pulled him in Thunder Bay, but we were both a little different than we were back then. I had I'll tell you how the left arm went. I had a long match with Len Houghton where I ended up being like this, and with the strap on, and him pulling downward on my hands.
Okay.
And it actually, I didn't find this out till later. It kind of hyperextended my wrist, and it didn't affect me arm wrestling that day. And I lost to Len that match.
Yeah.
I went through the B-side, and I met up with Len in the B-side final. And I got that match back. I beat him.
You beat Lennon, okay.
And then I went on the final to face Earl, and I believe I lost on fouls. I hit him really hard and really, really well, but I lost on fouls, although, Earl's pretty strong. He probably could have pinned me anyway. But
he is a strong guy.
He even said he didn't like to win that way, but he'll take it, I believe.
Yeah, I think
not like that, but I'll take it, he said.
Yeah.
And right arm, I beat Len Houghton, and actually, no, I think I lost to Len first match. Went through and beat him again in the side final. And then I ended up facing Earl, and it was a pretty intense match, but Earl ended up pinning me.
Okay. I can remember talking to him afterwards, and I think the quote from Earl was, "Everyone told me how much stink Ryan Espey had. I guess I stink pretty good myself." Huh?
He stinks worse. But he's a good arm wrestler. But that match with Len with my left arm was the last time I pulled one little tournament in Moose Jaw a couple months later, a really small tournament, and I had so much pain in my left wrist that I didn't know what was going on. And that was the last time I arm wrestled left-handed in an event to this day.
You haven't pulled left-handed since then?
I haven't pulled left-handed since that day. I've been rehabbing it But, I mean, I had an accident last summer, and everyone thinks that was why I was out. It's not. It's because I had some lingering tendon issues from a match, I believe, with Len Houghton.
Okay.
And, yeah, that's the last time I pulled left-handed, so I started making sure that I was getting in good matches with my right arm.
Well, yeah, definitely. Okay, so, and then 2006, you did not go to Worlds?
No, I did not. I have not been to a World Championship since Tokyo.
Since Tokyo. Yeah, 2006 was Manchester. 2007 was in Fredericton. You did come down to Fredericton for the Nationals?
Yeah, I did. That's a tough one. That's a tough story to tell. I was at that summer in June, I had a super match with Cade Revelstoke, and I won the match 4-0. But man, he got strong. But some bad things happened after that match.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to sit here and tell the whole story, but let's just say.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
I came out on the bad end of some things, and I ended up having a broken bone, and in my left hand that required surgery and a couple of screws to fix. I had a broken bone in my right hand as well.
Okay.
And I had a broken bone in my right foot. I mean, but the one in my right hand and right foot weren't nearly as severe.
As the one on the left?
Right.
Okay.
So I was in a brace with my left. I was even wearing it at the Nationals for certain periods of time. That was in June. I didn't go back to work until I believe it was the end of September.
Really? Okay.
So explain that one. You know, there's a picture of me arm wrestling at the Nationals with my right arm, but I can't go to work.
Yeah,
I'm still in a brace, so I go to Fredericton with my right hand, and you know, I didn't get a lot of quality training in, but you know, I felt like it was something I needed to do. And
well, I guess you found out where you were at that point in time.
Yeah, I mean, I showed up there and I arm wrestled. Well, there's Rick Heidebrecht.
Rick Heidebrecht was in the class.
The Grippler.
The Grippler, yeah.
And, I had some tough pulls.
There were some tough pulls, some elbow fouls.
I pulled Rick.
Yeah.
I lost on elbow fouls.
Okay.
And then I went down to the B side, and I came all the way through the B side, and I used a little bit of trickery and whatnot, and I used a lot of technique, we'll say, and I ended up beating the Grippler in the B-side final, and I went on to face Rick again.
Okay.
I managed to pin him once.
So you came from the B-side,
from the B-side,
evened it up.
Rick once, and then I arm wrestled him again, and I lost in elbow fouls.
Okay.
Again. Yeah.
So, and that was last. When were the Nationals last year? I think they were in a different date than normal.
Actually, they were in August. Yeah, they were August long weekends.
Because of the World being moved up or whatever. So from then until now, where we are now, have you been able to do much training and much arm wrestling?
Yes.
Yeah. So the hands are healed up?
Yeah, everything's healed. Everything's good, except the left wrist is still giving me a little grief.
Okay.
The goal is to pull at the Nationals, but I'm not sure if I'm going to achieve that or not.
Okay.
Wrist flexion still hurts, so that's a big problem in arm wrestling.
Yeah.
I mean, it hurts when I have somebody pulling my hand open. I can't do any wrist flexion at all. So I can post up really well, but you know.
So okay, that's for the left. So the right's feeling good though. And
right feels good.
Up until we'll talk about the Arnold Classic here in a moment, but up until now, has there been much challenge for you right-handed so far?
I haven't arm wrestled really right-handed. I don't believe I've actually had a big event since the Nationals.
Okay. So your first big test and first big event was this weekend at the Arnold Classic.
Yeah.
So, and how do you feel this weekend went for you?
Well, I felt really strong coming in.
Okay, who'd you pull first?
John Brzezinski.
John Brzezinski. Good draw, Ryan. Good draw. How did that match go?
Not so well. You know, we slipped out and we're in referee's grip in the straps, and you know, I made a couple of mistakes, but
okay.
John is I mean, I remember John last year when he was trying to make 187s pulling here at the Arnolds. He was on his way down to 187 for that match with
Babayev, yeah.
That never happened. But this year he was a little heavier and felt pretty darn strong at like 215 or whatever it was.
As well, okay.
And, yeah, I didn't have much for him with the right hand.
Okay, and who'd you pull after John?
In no particular order. There was a couple Americans, Jared Leviolette, I don't remember the other fellow's name. And then Mark Zalepa was in there somewhere.
Okay.
So I had 3 matches
that you won?
That I won rather quickly. And then I ended up pulling Michael Todd. And that ended up, we slipped out and went to the strap. And I actually, I hit him hard up top. And then I came around and kind of put in a hook to pin him.
Okay.
Which sort of surprised a few people, I think.
And then that brought us to the matchup that I honestly thought we would see in Connecticut, a matchup with you and Tim Bresnan. So just for those who don't know, there was a challenge match set up between yourself and Tim Bresnan for the Black Bear Saloon in January. That didn't take place. So you did get to pull Tim again, who you hadn't pulled since when you and him faced up at the Worlds in Japan. Is that correct?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, and how did that match go?
I felt real comfortable. We both hit up top.
Yeah.
And I kind of folded his wrist back in that first go, and we slipped out and went to the strap, and I made a stupid, I thought I was done for the day, because normally they go to the top 4 and then they cut it off.
Right.
So I thought I was done until the Saturday, and I get called up again to face Tim. So I get up there. I'm not making excuses or nothing. I made a stupid mistake. You know, the referee. I was waiting for a no more moving command or something of that nature.
Yeah.
Well, the refs don't have to say that if they don't want to, right? So it was a ready go, and wasn't really paying too much attention. And I haven't seen the video of it, but I was pretty far down by the time I got powered up.
Okay.
And
so on the ready go, Tim hit, you didn't.
Right.
Match is over.
Match is pretty much over.
Yeah. Okay. So talk to me a little bit about your strongman career. I did read in the bios that you've done some strongman events and that. So just give me a little brief talk on how your strongman career went.
I actually started strongman around the same time I started arm wrestling. I did the first. This is some history for everybody. The first strongman competition ever held in Canada, I believe, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but 1997 in Manitoba was the first ever Manitoba strongman.
Okay.
And it was $1,000 prize money and some trophies and stuff.
Yeah.
And prize money for each event, and I ended up winning. I won that one, and I won $1,000, and I thought, wow, that's really something.
Yeah.
I mean, that was big money for me back then.
Sure.
And I got invited. There wasn't another strongman for a while. I did a couple of small ones around Manitoba, but I got invited to compete at 1999 Canada's Strongest Man, which was the first time that competition was held. It was Hugo Girard and Justin Paulin and guys like that were competing. Me and Jeff Dolan went in. I mean, Jeff Dolan's a big-time strongman now.
Yeah.
Me and him were rookies at the time, went in there.
Okay.
And I was scared to death, but, my big event came up, and it was the truck pull.
Okay. So that, at the time, that was your favorite event, or the one you did the best at, or both?
Probably both.
Okay.
And it was a semi and a trailer.
Yeah.
With a ground rope, so you could use your arms, too. And I ended up doing very well. I almost beat Hugo Girard. I think I was only 2 seconds behind him or something.
Really?
Like that.
Wow, okay.
And I was only a foot behind him in the stone carry, and I was doing pretty good. I hung in there. I was there sitting about 7th out of 16 competitors at the end of day 1, and kind of injured my back towards the end of day 1.
Okay. And
I pulled out of the meet. Had to. I couldn't get out of bed the next morning, basically. So I pulled out of that meet, and that was the end of my Canada's Strongest Man effort.
That's it. You hurt your back, and so the career was pretty well...
Oh, no, the career went on. I ended up resurrecting my strongman career, and I think it was 2002.
Okay.
In 2003, I won Manitoba's Strongest Man. And I believe that year was the Western Canadian Championships. I did fairly well in that one. And Jeff Dolan came in there, and he was doing his thing. And
yeah.
He was obviously not a rookie anymore.
No, okay.
And he didn't. I think he injured himself, but he still ended up winning. But I went on and I continued, but I was kind of getting a little fed up with the way the things were run. You know, the lack of consistency and equipment testing, and I went on and I competed in a tournament or an event that was just before the Nationals by about 2 weeks, and due to improper testing of the equipment, they used a very light farmer's walk, which was only about 220 pounds per hand. Now that's considerably light in the strongman world. I was pretty much running with that weight, and no one had tested the course. And I caught my toe on some uneven ground, and they ended up rocketing me into the pavement. And
great.
I ended up with a concussion, and this was a couple weeks out before the Nationals. And
okay.
I decided, you know, that's it. That was the last time I ever did strongman.
Wow. Okay. So that moves me to, so now you've accomplished a fair amount in arm wrestling. So what drives you now? What motivates Ryan Espey, and what keeps you coming back? You've got a couple world titles. You've got some national titles.
Competition, and I just want to be number one, and I want to be considered one of the elite with the right arm now.
Okay.
And that might be a long goal, a long way off yet, but you know.
Yeah. Well, you're still a fairly young guy.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're over the hill yet. So you still have some years left in you.
Yeah.
Somebody pointed out to me today that at the Arnold Classic, 3 or 4 of the classes were won by masters.
Well, you look at the top 3, and
well, you look at who won the heavyweight. Richard Lucas.
The top 3 in the heavyweight, they're all masters.
Yeah. Richard Lucas wins. He's actually a grandmaster.
Mm-hmm.
George Zakowicz wins his class. He's a grandmaster. Joyce King wins her class. She's a master. And I don't want to get this wrong because I thought they told me Margie was a master puller as well. I could be wrong on that, but I thought someone told me she was a master's puller as well. But if not, there was 3 out of the 5 classes, maybe 4 out of the 5 classes won by masters pullers.
Yeah, I mean.
So you still got a couple of years to hang around, right?
40's the new 30, I guess.
I guess it must be. So what's next on the horizon for you in the arm wrestling world?
Can-Am Police and Fire Games, but that's a fairly soft tournament. I'm going there.
Is it? Okay.
I'm going there to do, I won the World Police and Fire Games in 2001.
Okay.
And actually, the guy I arm wrestled there, first match, was at the Arnold today. He came up and said hi to me.
Oh, really?
Can-Ams, but, you know, I mean, that's a tournament that's based on my career. I go to this event, and it's not a lot of very serious arm wrestlers. And if there is a serious arm wrestler there, they usually walk away with it pretty easily. So
okay.
I don't think I'm going to run into too much trouble. I'm actually pulling 2 classes because the seniors is 30 to 40, or 30 to 39.
Okay.
So I'm pulling the open and the seniors.
And the seniors. Okay.
And then I'm doing the bench press as well.
Okay. So you'll be at Nationals this year?
Yes, it will, yeah.
Nationals in Saskatchewan. The Worlds, of course, are being held in Canada. I'm assuming, maybe I shouldn't, you want to qualify and then compete for Canada at the Worlds out in Kelowna, BC.
That's my intention.
That's the plan right now. So any other big tournaments between now, this is the 1st of March, between now and Nationals that you plan to hit?
I was going to, well, you know, there's lots of tournaments in April. I'd love to go to the Harley Pool.
Right, yeah.
But my second baby is being born in April. So.
Oh, okay. Congratulations then.
Thank you.
A new child on the way. Yeah, that's great.
So I'm not going to be at the Harley Pool. And after that, working on going to Best in the West in May.
Okay.
And at that event, I'm supposed to have a super match with Michael Todd.
So Michael Todd's going to come up to Alberta for a match with you?
That's right.
Right-handed?
Yeah.
3 to 5, 4 to 7, 2 to 3?
Whatever.
Okay.
It'll be out of 5 or out of 7.
Okay.
But this is all based on scheduling, and like he may have an event that conflicts it's important to him to go to. So
Okay.
he's explained that to me.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about it once we get the dates to this other event. And as long as it's not within like a week or two of each other, it'll happen.
Okay. So, and when is Best in the West supposed to take place?
May long weekend. I believe it's the 17th.
Yeah,
It's on the Canadian board right now.
Yeah, I think you're correct. And then, of course, as I said, Nationals are in Saskatchewan, so you will be there, I'm assuming. That's the plan right now.
It's about a 6-hour drive from my house, so I think it's pretty safe to assume that I'll be there.
All right. And then, of course, everyone expects everyone to be at the Canadian Nationals this year because the Worlds are in Canada.
That's what they say, yeah.
Yeah. So, of course, you never know who's going to show up till they actually show up, but it'd be nice to see a strong team, Canada, come out of the Nationals. There was, I don't know if Earl's coming or not for sure. There was talk about him coming to Nationals this year. I don't know if you've heard anything. That's what I've heard from a couple of Ontario pullers.
I've heard rumors.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope he does. I'd like another shot at him.
Sure.
Doesn't pull very often anymore at big events, so I'm not going to have many more opportunities to beat him if he doesn't come out. So I got to take advantage of those.
Well, you know what? Some of the I don't want to call them older, but some of the more experienced guys, Earl Wilson's not coming out near as much. Mike Gould's not coming out near as much at all in the past year or so. We don't see Greg Boyes out anymore.
Well, I heard Greg's planning to come back.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be nice to see. I also heard that he was doing some pro wrestling.
Yeah, he is. I've seen some pictures of him in his wrestling attire.
Okay. Interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, you're closer to Lenny Houghton than I am, so I don't know if Lenny's plans to come out anymore.
Len Houghton will, when he's at the tournament, that's when I know for sure if he's coming.
Okay. Other than that, I can't think of any other big name super heavyweight guys that there would be for you to pull against.
Well, unless Devin
up-and-comers
decides to come to a Nationals.
Would he be in your weight class?
Well, he could make 242, but
okay.
Knowing Devin, if he were to come to a Nationals.
I don't want to disrespect anybody. I know Rick Heidebrecht is a Canadian champion.
Yeah, Rick Heidebrecht will be there, and Rick's coming up. And
the Griffler, Ian Carnegie, is an up-and-comer, learning the game and improving all the time. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody and not leave anybody out, but because there are new guys coming along, and but I guess only time will tell.
Yeah.
So also right now you're the director of communications for the CAWF.
That's correct.
So what does that involve?
Basically, I take care of, in a nutshell, I take care of all the stuff online.
Okay.
I
the CAWF message board and
CAWF.ca is the website.
Okay.
I look after the message board, which, sometimes that makes me popular, sometimes it doesn't.
When you're the moderator of a board, some people are going to like you, some people aren't.
Yeah, I've got no problem telling people how it is.
Yeah, well, whatever. It's, you know what it is. Not everybody's going to like everything that everybody has to say, and whatever decision you have to make, some people are going to disagree with it, some people aren't.
Yeah.
The decision has to be made, and you're the one running it, whatever.
I also look after ManitobaArmwrestling.com and decided to throw that in there too.
Okay, ManitobaArmwrestling.com. You can plug away whatever you got. You can
RyanEspey.com. That's about it.
Okay, RyanEspey.com, ManitobaArmwrestling.com.
Yeah, CAWF.ca.
Okay, and
from there you go to the
there's a link right to the Canadian message board. So I encourage you all to sign up for the message board and see what's going on in Canadian arm wrestling as well. Now, so there's also, we're hosting the Worlds. After the Worlds, you're becoming the Western Vice President of the CAWF. Am I remembering this correctly?
Yes. We made it as actually, I want to get into the old details of the conversation that was held at the annual general meeting, but Keith Koning is going to remain as the Vice President of the Canadian Arm Wrestling Federation.
The Western Vice President.
For the West, yeah. Until the World Championships that he's running are over.
Okay.
So we made the official date to be January 1st.
Of 2009.
2009. So I'll actually only serve for not even a full year. before the election.
Before it's time for another election. Okay. Okay, I wasn't sure exactly what had transpired there. I knew there was a little talk about what was going to happen. I knew it had something to do around the worlds, but and so that's it. Now, just fairly briefly, now tell me who do you look up to in arm wrestling right now, and who motivates you, and who are you chasing?
Oh, well,
I guess that's really like three different questions, isn't it?
Who do I look up to right now? Well, that's a good one. I mean, guys like Richard Lupke's to come back after all these years.
Yeah.
You know, he's a nice guy to talk to. He's genuinely seems like a good person. Very friendly to talk to, and you know, I mean, I like that guy. So you know, John Brzenk. I mean, how could anybody not look up to John Brzenk? He's the best arm wrestler ever. I don't know. That's a tough one. You know, I look up to guys like Earl.
Yeah.
You know, he's always. I remember things about Earl. You know, back to your question, like at the beginning of the interview, what kept you in the sport? I remember my first nationals. You know, I got my ass kicked, and I'm sitting there, and I'm kind of sad. I remember Earl Wilson, who was pulling the 242 class, came and sat down next to me and had some kind words and some encouraging words. So, you know, that was pretty nice for him to come up and do that, and I remember that right now.
No, I mean that's true.
It happened yesterday.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. There's sometimes guys put too much showmanship into it, and remember that we're all kind of in this struggle together, and arm wrestling's not going to sustain itself, and it's going to take work from all of us. So, I don't know.
No, true enough. So just let me throw a few names at you, and
the name associate or the first thing that comes into my mind.
Yeah, basically, you tell me what you think.
The first thing that comes to my mind, I'm going to actually think about it for a second.
Don't think. You know what? Don't think too much, because it's not going to be anything. First of all, I mean, the greatest arm wrestler that we have, John Brzenk.
True professional arm wrestler.
Okay, Ron Bath.
Oh man, another true pro who has come through lots of ups and downs, but you know, always comes back and gets stronger just when people seem to count him out, I guess.
Okay, Travis Bagent.
Travis Bagent, one of the smartest arm wrestlers there is, and you know, I don't know what else can I say about Travis.
Earl Wilson.
True gentleman and strong as an ox.
Miles Wolko, who got you started in arm wrestling. You don't have to say the first thing. Maybe you better think about that.
Waste of talent. I said that to him. I think Miles had the potential to be the world's best in his weight class, bar none. Lacks dedication, has natural talent for the sport. But if I could get him to train for maybe more than a month before a tournament, he would probably do a lot better. You know? Okay.
And the last name I'm going to throw at you, Ryan Espey.
Ryan Espey, you haven't seen the best of me yet.
Okay, let's end it right there. Ryan, I appreciate you stopping by. I really appreciate you sitting down and talking to me. Thanks very much for doing this.
Thanks, Scott.
It's great. For Ryan Espey, I'm Scott McGinnis for Armsportvideos in Focus, and we're out. Thanks. That wasn't so bad.
That was pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, no.